don't feel good today. But let's get to yapping. Hi friends, how you doing today? If you're new here, hi, my name is Bush Between the Covers, and I normally don't sound like this. I'm under the weather today. But I do my makeup and I talk about some books at the same time. So if you like a bit of books, you like a bit of makeup, you like a bit of yapping, hi, hey, I'm the girly for you. If you don't like makeup though, that's okay. If you don't like books, that's okay. The only thing that you're really required to like is yapping. But if you actively hate makeup and you actively hate books, go sort that out. But also, click off the video. I don't have to be for you, and that's okay. If you're returning, hey bestie, hey, thanks so much for coming back and hanging out with me today. Um, Today we're gonna be very briefly talking about "Give Me More" by Sara Cate. I say only briefly because again, I'm not feeling my best today. But I'm still going to put on makeup and I'm still going to talk about this book. The good news is this book isn't very long anyway, so I should be able to yap about it in a shorter time span. And I do have plans today, even though I don't feel the best. As I'm recording this, it is the day before my birthday. So I do have some like birthday plans. Um, so I have to pull myself together. Okay? But I'm going to get everything out in front of me, get my hair out of my face, and we'll jump into it. Okay? All right. I'll catch you on the flip. Alrighty. Hair is out of my face. Everything is out in front of me. So let's get into it. So give me more. I had to think. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? I just said it. But give me more has three points of view in it, and that's right. I said three, not just two. Three. We have Hunter, one of the Salacious Players Club owners, his wife Isabel, and his best friend and head of construction at Salacious, Drake. Now, if you remember from Eyes on Me, Drake was mentioned because that is the persona that Garrett took on while talking to Mia. And then Mia met Drake in person. So, yeah, Drake, the infamous Drake, Playboy Drake, man whore Drake, that guy. So, and this one has a lot to deal with polyamory, um, hot wifing, which is basically cuckolding, but like whatever. What do I know? Um, and dealing with like homophobia and everything like that. So it was kind of heavy, but also um like a pretty decent read. You know, this one wasn't my favorite, but it was still good. Um, excuse me. The whole story of this one happens during a little cross country road trip that Hunter, Isabel, and Drake go on to scope out other clubs to see if A, they would want to make a deal with them and like become one, or if, they could take some ideas from there, play off of it, whatever. So the three of them head out to a couple different clubs, one in Phoenix, and then I think another one in Vegas, maybe? I don't quite remember. I know one was definitely in Phoenix because that one becomes important later on. Excuse me. Sorry, it's going to be a lot of that today. But anyway, um, Hunter has this brilliant idea to ask Drake to sleep with his wife. And Drake is like, huh? What do you mean? And Hunter's like, nah, I'm dead ass. Like, please, would you be willing to sleep with my wife and I'll watch? And Drake's like, no. But like, I guess if Isabel's into it, then like I could be into it, I guess. And Hunter asks his wife, and she's like, I don't really know, but like, I guess maybe if it'll make you happy. Because Hunter and Isabel have been together for a long time, like since early college days, if I'm not mistaken. And it was basically like kismet when they met. Like Hunter had seen her from afar and he was like, "Yes, that one. I like that one. That one's going to be mine forever." But Drake also saw her and was like, "Wow, she is perfect. I really like her." But obviously, out of respect for his best friend, he was like, "Yeah, no, no, no. She's yours, bro code, bro code." Um and they uh they were all together and friends from that point forward. So Drake and Isabel are very close, and obviously Drake and Hunter are best friends. I should also mention that Drake is bisexual, so he swing-a-lings both ways. Now, that being said, Drake is also very much in love with Hunter and like has been for a really long time. But Hunter, he was raised in a very straight, you have to be straight, men are straight household. Like gay ain't the way household. And that really stuck with Hunter, and he I hopefully said Hunter before and not Drake. Um my brain is a little cloudy. Um but Hunter was raised in this super straight household, and his father wasn't the best guy. He was abusive and just an alcoholic and overall just general scum. And really made Hunter feel like booty butt cheeks about literally everything. Um, and so even though Hunter, well, I'm just gonna let you know now, Hunter is also bisexual, but has to come to terms with that on his own and realize that it is a-okay to be queer in any way, shape, or form. Uh, and so once they all start freaking it, um, Drake and Isabel, they are like, all right, yeah, cool. I guess, like I said, if this is what you want, this is what we'll do. So they start boning in front of Hunter, and the agreement is this will only happen when I'm here. Y'all won't have these types of interactions without me. Um, and if I want to join in, I will. Cool, cool. So all this goes on, but obviously over time, Drake and Isabel, they're getting closer, more connected. And like I said, they already cared about each other and had a pre-existing relationship where they were close. Isabel and Drake were basically like siblings almost in how close they were, and now they're like step siblings, if you know if you know what I mean. Sorry, that was if you know, you know. Obviously, if you watched the last video, well, last Salacious Players video, you know what I'm saying. You understand. Um, but freaking, they were already super duper close, and now this is just adding a whole different, more complicated layer to everything. And over time, well, first they were like, yeah, this is only like a one time thing. We're just gonna do this um for Hunter, and then we'll be done. But obviously, it goes on longer than that. And they eventually hit a point where Drake is like, I can't do this anymore. And Isabel's like, no, 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 we can keep doing this. And even Hunter's like, no, 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 you're gonna keep doing this. But Drake is like, no, 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 I don't think that you're taking like my feelings into account with all of this because, like I said, Drake is also in love with Hunter, and obviously too, he's had feelings for Isabel because he thinks that she is like the most perfect woman ever in the entire world. So nobody's really taken Drake's thoughts and feelings into account. He's just a guy, and he has feelings. He's a little guy. Um, but Drake eventually starts pushing away, and Isabel's like, no, 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 you're not doing that. Come back, reeling him in. Um, and they have a heart to heart, and then um, they end up kind of getting a little freaky deaky without Hunter, but nothing too crazy. But Hunter also wants them to get close, and he wants them to have um like a relationship type thing. Like he wants that. He actually wants them to all three be together. But obviously Hunter doesn't come forward with that right away because he's still battling with his internalized homophobia, where it's not okay for him to have feelings for Hunter. But over time, everything spirals, and eventually, Hunter removes himself from the two of them, and he's like, I'm I'm gonna I'm gonna head out and figure out who I am and like what I'm doing, uh, because at this point, too, like he's leading Drake on. He is like kind of hurting Isabel because she wants to be with both of them, and Hunter can't come to terms with the fact that like again he can be gay, he can be bisexual, like it's okay. Your dad can't hurt you, he's dead. Um like it's okay, Hunter. Okay, sorry, I forgot to grab my powders. Um, but you know, um, Hunter, like I said, removes himself from being with the two of them because he has to figure himself out, and it's not fair for Drake nor Isabel to really um, go through what he is putting them through. But Hunter sorts his shit out, but during this time, Drake and Isabel are like, all right, yeah, Hunter's not here, but like, I guess maybe we can still continue what the fudge is going on, or like has been going on, maybe. But they do a really good job at not freaking each other uh for a while Hunter is out of the picture. But before Hunter leaves too, he's like, it's okay, you guys can like diddle each other when I'm not here because that wouldn't be fair of me to just like disappear. But like take care of each other, okay? um, and so they like abstain, I'll say, for a while, and then they start freaking it. But also too, during their little road trip, and while everything's going on, and they're screwing each other and kind of like only each other, because that's another thing. Like I said, Drake is like a playboy. He gets around. He likes to sleep with different people every day of the week. He's not a monogamous kind of guy. But during the time that uh Hunter asks him to sleep with Isabel, or like, be involved with the two of them, he's like, you are only going to be active with us, and that is it. Like, you will not flirt with people in front of us, you will not, whatever. And Drake at first is like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then they go to this shibari class in one of the clubs, and Drake ends up flirting with the shibari instructor, and then he opens up to her because she's just a stranger. He's like, I'm never gonna see her again, interact with her again, so I will just trauma dump on her, and it'll be fine. Until they get back to the club and they start inviting her to teach these shibari classes and become a permanent staple in their club. But that's neither here nor there. But this instructor is like, well, it sounds like you're in love with both of them, so like, why don't you just say that? And Drake's like, no, no, you don't understand. Hunter isn't like that. Hunter, yeah, he's very straight. Mm-mm. Ain't gonna happen. I will just have to sit here with my feelings, um, and ignore them, I guess. Um, but once all this happens, um, Hunter also, I'm sorry, like, I'm just jumping all over the place because I keep thinking of things as I'm going. Before Hunter goes to like figure himself out too, he takes Drake to this club with him where they have like blackout rooms, and they're for they have one for just women, one for just men, and then one that's got both genders in it. Or like one for everybody, I should say, because I'm sure that they would let non-binary people in there too. You know, they don't stop you at the door and they're like, "What gender do you identify as?" Um, you know, um, but they have a room for everybody, and then there's one for just men and just women. Um, so Drake goes to enter the room for just men, and he's got to sheath his Johnson with a condominium before he freaking goes in there because, of that roommate, you're supposed to get a little freaky deaky. You can touch whoever you want, suck whoever you want, fuck whoever you want in there, okay? So you gotta stay protected though, because I guess I don't know if they like don't test their members regularly. Like at Salacious, they make everybody regularly get tested. Um, but whatever. Again, but I guess better to be safe than sorry. Clearly, obviously. Um, but like they have guards and people in there with like night vision goggles to make sure that everybody is playing by the rules and playing safely. I guess. Um, But Drake is fumbling around in there, whatever, and Hunter's in there, and he's got friggin' the night vision goggles on. Damn it, I forgot to put on cream blush. Anyway, um, and just the small things I remember. But Drake, no, Hunter finds Drake. There we go. Because he's got the night vision goggles on, and he's like, "Hey, um, you're gonna suck my Johnson." And Drake's like, okay, whatever. Like, I'd be happy to. And so he does. And then Hunter just kind of leaves him there. Doesn't even say thank you, bye. Like, climaxes and then is like, all right, see you later. And then just dips out of the freaking room. And I think it's because Hunter immediately is like, what the fudge did I just do? What did I just do? And he has to deal with that after, but then he just kind of pretends like nothing ever happened. But meanwhile, Drake is like, excuse me, you left me in there and you just ditched me. You freaking you did a come and go. Like what? Hello? Um so um freaking once Hunter goes and he figures himself out, he comes back and he apologizes and he's like, "Well, I love you both. Uh let's all be together." And Drake is very wounded still. He's like, "No. I'm not a monogamous guy. I don't know. I don't think I can just be with you guys. Um I'm still gonna go off and do my own thing." So Drake does this for like 5 seconds before he is pulled into reality. I can't seem to find the brush that I want, so this one I'll have to do. Um, but Drake ends up going on a date with the salacious bartender, Gio. Uh, and he's having a good time with Gio. He's out, he's laughing, whatever. And Gio's like, I can tell, like you don't really want to be here. You don't really want to be with me, and that's okay. Like that's fine. You don't you don't have to, but like you should really explore the feelings that you have for these two people because obviously you really care about them. And Gio sets everything in motion for Drake because then Drake's like, you know what? I guess you're right. I should really go and talk to them and tell them that I want to be with them and blah 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 blah. Uh, so Drake does exactly that. Uh, he goes to Hunter and Isabel and he's like, you know what? Um, can we maybe try this? Like I don't think that I'm cut out for monogamy, but there's no harm in trying, and maybe we can all be together and make this work. And they're both freaking over the GD moon. They're like, yes, abs freaking lootly. And then they all take it to Pound Town after that. They got a one-way ticket to Pound Town after that goes and happens. But overall, very happy ending for them. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And when Hunter is figuring out his shit, he goes and visits his dad's grave and basically pisses all over it. He's like, you know what? You're a dick and you deserve to be dead. And I hate you. You made me feel like there was something wrong with me, um, or something wrong with, the people that will get to love who they want to love, and whatever. And yeah, so he basically tells his dead dad to kick freaking rocks, and tells him that he's a POS and everything like that. Like everything that he wished he could have said while his dad was alive. But he was basically like, I'm very grateful you're dead. Good riddance. Couldn't stand you anyway. But that brings Hunter a lot of, I don't know, closure, for lack of a better word. It brings Hunter a lot of closure, and then again helps him make peace with who he is. So I think that that's really cool and beautiful and powerful. Um, I do think, obviously it was pretty shit for Hunter to have left the two of them and, you know, go figure himself out. However, comma, it's what he needed to do to make things right for everyone and himself. So, whatever, Hunter. I guess good on you, my guy, for coming to terms with who you are. However, sucks that you had to leave everybody in the process to figure out your shit. But like whatever. Pop off, King. I get it. But yeah. So that was basically Give Me More in a nutshell. Um I wish that I had more to really say about it, but I don't. It was good. It was a good read. I know I said it in a previous video. I could not for the life of me though stand the voice of the female narrator for Isabel. I feel horrible saying that because again, I'm sure that she's a really lovely person. Um, but there was just something about her voice, man, that just drove me over the edge every time. Eventually, I got used to it. But it was just, I don't know, it was like nails on a freaking chalkboard for me to listen to. And I was just, I don't know, very, very much so over it. Did not want to hear a singular peep out of that narrator the whole time. Like anytime it was an Isabel chapter, I was like, oh god damn it. And thankfully this one I read a whole lot more than I had to audiobook it. But still, even still, it was something. It was something else, let me tell you. But if you've read this book or even listened to the audiobook, I know that I have mentioned in the past that I like to do both. I feel like it helps me consume a lot more um, because I'm still consuming books while I am not able to fully sit down and read them because I like to have a nice little audiobook when I'm vacuuming or driving. Anytime that I physically cannot be reading, sitting and reading, I do enjoy me a nice little audiobook. But um yeah, I'm looking a little crazy right now, but this is a trust the process. But I just finished reading Enchantra. That came out April 8th, and I finished reading it sometime last week. I took a week off of reading to play some video games. Because as much as I am a reader, I'm also a gamer. If you knew me from Twitch, hey, hi, hey, bestie. But yeah, I'm still out here gaming. I've been playing a lot of Skyrim. Not to change the subject from books, but like I need you to know that I took a little break from reading after I finished Enchantra. Next week, or like this week rather, I'm gonna get back to hitting the books. I've also just been listening to some music um, on my drives now. I need a little break emotionally. Enchanter broke me a little bit. But we'll get into that next week because I am going to skip um, ahead and not talk about the sinner from the Lord series just yet. I'm going to talk about Enchantra because I want to. I need to. I need to scream it from the tops of the roofs to friggin' tell everybody about it. Um, I'm going to go finish everything up, and then I will hit you with my complete final thoughts. Even though I basically kind of told them to you already, but we'll wrap everything up and yeah. All right. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. I'm as put together as I can be. I just have to set my face and we'll be good. So, overall, like I said, give me more. Was good. Um, it wasn't my favorite in the series. However, it was good. It was a good story. I think that the discussion of polyamory and internalized homophobia and overcoming that is really, really great. Um, I think that it brings awareness to stuff like that. Polyamory is cool and all. Um, Homophobia is not cool, but accepting who you are, that's pretty cool. Oh, also, I changed my shirt in case you couldn't tell. Whatever. Um, but yeah. I would give it like maybe a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Um, again, wasn't my favorite, but it was good. It was a good book. There was enough spice in there. Um, yeah, I don't know. um, I don't have too many thoughts on the matter. Um, it was a book and I read it. Glad it's over. No, it wasn't that bad. Um, but like I said, it just wasn't my favorite. But I do think that it was a solid read. I would recommend this series to a friend for sure. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Sorry, this one was definitely all over the place just because I don't feel that good. But I look good, at least. So there's that. Next week we will. Oh, next week we're going to talk about Enchantra. I know that I already warned you and gave you a heads up that it was going to jump the line and be the next thing that I talk about once I finished it. But I'm done. I finished that like a couple days after it came out. Like I don't know. I think it was done by Monday. Uh, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I was done reading it very very quickly though. I really do enjoy me a nice Kaylie Smith book. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that next, and then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program of going back and forth between Lords and Salacious. And then once I'm done with that, then we'll probably talk about her Salt's Take or something else. I feel so bad. That was a good book. I promise you, I will get to it eventually. I'll talk about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you made it this far in the video, tell me how you're feeling. It's allergy season and I'm not feeling good. So I hope you're feeling okay. Um and if, it's just allergies, I hope you're taking some allergy meds. The pollen is high. It's gross. Um but yeah. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you liked the video today, please give it a like. If you disliked it, that's okay. You can dislike it. I get it. I get it. This one was all over the place. If you're not subscribed already, please do so. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you have a lovely, lovely rest of your day, evening, whatever time it is for you. Um, I hope you have a good one. Uh, and I will see you next week. Bye.